गुड मॉर्निंग स्टूडेंट बेटा जी अज असी करांगे सैक्शन सी जिहदे विच साडे क्वेश्चन आंसर आ जाणगे बुक्स वाले। तो साडा पहला क्वेश्चन है वट इज़ द नरेटर प्रोफैशन। साडा आंसर है द टीचर नरेटर इज ए टीचर। वाई वाज हसन नॉट नोटिस बाय द टीचर इन द क्लास। Hassan was not noted by the teacher due to his absence from class. Why were Hassan's parents called to the school? The narrator got tried to Hassan not story and called his parents to discuss. Next है why did the parents teacher meeting end fruitlessly? Because Hassan was not ready to give up his lazy habit. His parents did not take his responsibility. Next है why did the narrator feel fed up with Hassan? She felt fed up with his attendance problem. कहते whom did Hassan naff? He naffed at those people who work hard. Where did Sudha Murthy work? Her answer है in a college in Bangalore. According to Hassan, who were nerd? Her answer है hardworking people were nerd. During which day would Hassan often show up in the class? ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਿਖਿਆ during vacation, ਇਹ ਗਲਤ ਹੈ, during examination ਆਏਗਾ। How did Hassan look when he met a teacher after many years? Her answer है plump and bland-headed. Agega how was Hassan when he met the narrator how old? As a software salesman, 35. Dash is the name of Hassan teacher. Hassan teacher Sudha Murthy. Hassan always laughed at those people who ही कह लो hard worker। ठीक है। Who is the author of the chapter Hassan attendance problem? Sudha Murthy। Next had a chapter है in what age Philip started the music school? Philip joined the music school at the age of 7. Which game Philip liked to play? Philip loved to play baseball. What did he eat? He ate a sandwich. What did he found? He found that he had on clean white shirt. ठीक है। What did he found? He found that he had no clean white shirt. आंसर नहीं है। ठीक है। अच्छा उन्हें की लभ्या ही ठीक है। कहते what was the name of the Philip music teacher? His music teacher was Mr. Sputa. What was the time of the bakery? Philip had to go at 8:30 in the evening. How many marches Philip wrote? Philip wrote more than 100 marches. Or what did Philip want to become when he was a child? When Philip was a child, he wanted to become a musician. Next है कहते how did Philip come to know as the March King? He composed about 100 marches and the famous Washington Post march and become known as March King. Give the name of the American capital, Washington DC. Name the band which Philip was the Marine Band. At what age did Philip get into trouble because of baseball? 11. कहते who scolded Philip for poor performance in the concert? Professor Sputa. Give the name of the baker in the March King? Charlie. Name the march for which Philip was applauded? कहते Washington Post march. What did Philip want to become instead of musician? साडा की आंसर आएगा ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਏਗਾ baker. Who is the author of the chapter March King? Catherine Little Bakeless. Next है who propagated the art of lateral thinking? Edward de Bono. What was Edward de Bono nation about lateral thinking. Lateral thinking is a skill which help us to use our uh, potential fully. What was the proposal given to the poor farmer by the moneylender? Hard answer है he would write off the farmer debt if he could marry with his girl. What do you understand by the term lateral thinking after reading this chapter? Lateral thinking means thinking differently and being creative. How much loan did Thomas borrow? 5,000. Again, what trick did the money lender cunningly play to win the game? He picked up two black pebbles from the pebble covered path and put them into the bag. Again, the New York millionaire was helped by dash ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਖਾਲੀ ਥਾ lateral thinking. How long did Thomas the New York millionaire stay away? 2 weeks. How much money did Thomas pay as interest for the loan? $15. Who introduced day and night matches with colorful ball and clothing? Had a carry packer. And then when did Thomas go to the bank to return the bank loan after 2 weeks? Had the next and how do we infect the world? We infect the world with our ill humors and bad manner. What were the good quality of a good conductor? Hadaga, he was a kind and helpful person. How could the left man have avoided the trouble? By controlling his anger and ill will. Why was the passenger hurled out of the lift? Because the passenger asked the liftman rudely to carry him to top. What served the little courtesy in our daily life? ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ word like please and thank you are little courtesy. What were the good quality of the conductor? He was kind and helpful person. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ where the liftman threw the passenger out of his lift in a city office. In this courtesy a legal offense? No, this courtesy is not a legal offense. Can law compel us to say please and thank you? No, law cannot compel us. How was the behavior of conductor with the elderly people? And his behavior was quite polite. Next है this lesson ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡਾ ਹੈਗਾ fill up A.G. Gardner. Next है who was Annie Mansfield Sullivan? She was Helen Keller teacher. What did Helen learn at the well house? She learned that the mystery of language. Cool water flowed over her head. Who had set the doll for the narrator? Helen Keller. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ the little blind children at the Parkin institution had set it. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ what did the teacher spell on the other hand of the writer? ਕਹਿੰਦੇ the teacher spelled water on the other hand of the writer. What was the narrator doing while sitting on the step? She was waiting with a beating heart for something to be happened. ਤੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ fill up ਹੈ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ child ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ the narrator compare herself with dash. ਸਾਡਾ ਕੀ ਆਏਗਾ a ship in the dense fog. Annie Mansfield Sullivan ਇਹਦਾ ਆਏਗਾ ਕੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਹੈਲਨਸ ਟੀਚਰ. ਦਾ ਨੇਮ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਖਾਲੀ ਥਾਂ ਪਰ ਹੈਗੇ ਹੈਗਾ ਐਨੀ ਮੈਨਸਫੀਲਡ ਸੁਲੀਵਨ. ਲਿਸਟ 2 ਵਰਡ ਪਿਨ ਤੇ ਹੈਟ. ਅੱਗੇ ਗਾ what happened to Helen eyes after she felt sorry over the broken door? Her eyes were filled with tears. ਅੱਗੇ fill up ਹੈ 22 year. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ Helen Keller published her autobiography when she was dash year. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ 22. The narrator had set the doll dash of Helen Keller doll. Who is the author of the story Helen Keller? Keller ਅੱਗੇ ਗਿਆ ਸਾਡਾ Gadri Baba, ਹਾਂਜੀ. The list a few member of the Gadar party. The key members were Lala Hardyal or VJ Pingle, Sant Baba ਹੈਗਾ ਵਸਾਖਾ ਸਿੰਘ ਔਰ ਸੋਹਣ ਸਿੰਘ ਭਕਨਾ ਐਂਡ ਕਰਤਾਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਸਰਾਭਾ. ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਿਲ ਅਪ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਇੰਡੀਅਨ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵਟ ਵਾਜ਼ ਦਾ ਗਦਰ ਪਾਰਟੀ? ਦ ਗਦਰ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਵਾਜ਼ ਐਨ ਆਰਗੇਨਾਈਜੇਸ਼ਨ founded by Punjabi Indian. What did the jail open? The newly constructed jail was opened in 1906. How long was Nani Gopal hunger strike? ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੇਟਾ ਨਾਮ ਥੋੜਾ ਮਿਸਟੇਕ ਹੈ. His hunger strike continued for 72 days. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ who commit suicide in jail? Indu Bhushan commit suicide in jail. Again, how many Gadris lost their life in the cellular jail? ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ 18 Gadris. Again, who were the chief governor official in the cellular jail? General Devin Barry and Superintendent Murray. Who were addressed demigod? The old criminal and Jamadar were demigods. They ill-treated all the prisoners. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਦਾ ਸਲਕਰ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਖਾਲੀ ਥਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਾਲੀ ਪਾਣੀ. Who is the author of the chapter? Dr. Harish K. Puri. Next ਸਾਡਾ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ what had Lucia become suffering from? She had been suffering from the tuberculosis of spine, मतलब TB. कहते कि what did Lucia aspire to? She aspired to be a singer. Who was Nicola? What was his age? Nicola was elder brother and he was 13-year-old. What did the writer feel about two boys? The writer felt that both these boys' face were the seriousness which was far beyond their year. What did two boys do during the summer day? They sang shoes, sold fruit, hawking newspaper, or conducted tourists around the town. Describe the physical appearance of the boys. They had answered that the two boys were little figure and brown skin, tangled hair, and wore shabby cloth. ठीक है. आगे का how are two boys useful for the narrators in many ways? They bought chocolate, sent shoes, and books seat of the opera for him. Why did two boys useful for the narrator in many ways? दोबारा repeat हो गया. आगे का who was the woman at the village? She was a good-looking nurse. What made the two brothers and their sister orphan? The war made two brothers and their sister orphans. ठीक है. आगे है साडा कहते कि what had Lucia become suffering? दोबारा रिपीट हो गया. नेक्स्ट है कहते what did the narrator brother suffer from in the chapter in celebration of being alive? Had answer he suffered because he was an abnormal heart for which there was no surgery in those days. Why could not Dr. Bernard brother survive? Sure. कहते कि because of improper treatment for heart surgery. According to Dr. Bernard, what is the business of living? Because the business of living is a celebration of being alive. What do the people with brave and positive attitude teach us? They teach us move to forward in life, and the business of living is joy. What was Dr. Bernard's father's attitude toward life? God tests us when we are in suffering. And what does Dr. Bernard consider the suffering of the children heartbreaking because they have total faith in the ability of a doctor to cure them. Again, what made the driver and the mechanic choose their role? The mechanic was blind and the driver had only one arm. What did the narrator brother suffering from in the chapter दोबारा repeat हो गया. Dr. Bernard brother had died, none of these. Dr. Bernard ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ fill up है. साਡਾ आंसर की आएगा A biscuit. Name of the cab Tom Hospital, Red Cross Children Hospital. बेटा इस तो बाद अहीं ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਵੀਡੀਓ 'ਚ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਲੰਬੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ. ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਛੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਰ ਲਓ. ਨੈਕਸਟ ਵੀਡੀਓ 'ਚ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਹਾਂ. ਟੇਕ ਕੇਅਰ.